So the next part which we want to see is if else block, or the if else structure. We will see how that works. Okay, it's very simple. If, then bracket. So if here some kind of condition will come. Condition will come. Based on that, in the program, it will decide how the programming flow will happen. Okay. Then there will be else. It's like this. So if this condition is true, execute these lines. It's like this. So, okay. Statement. Here also some statement. Statement. So if this is true, if any condition is true, then execute all this. Don't execute what is written in else. If this condition is false, then execute what is written in else part. It's very simple, right? You say, if it's raining, I will go to school. If so, you don't have to say else part, right? So if it is not, let me tell you in better way, right? The example is basically, if it's raining, I will not go to school, right? So if raining, don't go school, else go to school, right? Something like this. Okay, I'll show both the examples. Let's make a program now. So we will be talking about if else demo, correct? So I'm creating a new class here. If else demo 1, that's it. I'll create main function also. Here I'll write two statements. One is don't go school. Okay. One is don't go school in the double quote. Why we are writing in double quote? Because it will print as it is. And another statement is go to school. Go to school or just go to school. Fine. So if I will execute this, it will print both the things. It will print both the things, or there is a command, both the things it is executing. But I want to decide which one to execute based on some condition. Correct. So here I can say Boolean is raining is equals to true. Let's declare it like true. Okay. And here if I say if is raining is equals to true, then execute this. Okay. Else execute this. It's like this. So this time what will happen is only one of these lines will get executed based on what is the condition. So if I'll execute this, if you see here, it's printing don't go to school. It's not printing me this. Go to school, it's not printing. Why? Let's see line by line what is happening. On the 7th line, you are saying Boolean is raining is true. It will come to the 9th line and it will, if means there is a condition check. So it's checking is raining. What is the current value of is raining? True. Fine. If this side is also true, this side is also true. If both is matching, then the final answer is true. So do this thing. It's like if this condition is true, do this thing. It's like this. Okay. So it will not go to else part. Once it is an if part, it will not go to else part because it is already executed. The true part is executed. It's like this. If I'll make it false, so what will happen this time? it will go to the 9th line. Is raining, which is false, is not equal to true, correct? It's not equal. Both things are not equal. So it will not do this thing. It will go to the else part and it will print go to school. So if I'll print this time, it's saying go to school. Okay. Let's take one more example. Let's take two variables. Very simple one. Int x is equals to 15. Int y is equals to 30. Okay. So here if I say if x is greater than y, okay, I want to say you do something, right? So, okay, if there is just one line of execution, you don't have to put bracket. If there is a multiple line, so it's better to put bracket. Okay? But for making it simple, it's better to keep an habit of putting the bracket, okay, whether it's one line or multiple lines. So if this is true, do this thing. Else you should say system.out. So I am saying here x is greater. X is greater. Else say y is greater. Something like this. So let's concentrate on this part only. Line number 15 to line number 24. Here, what we are saying, there are two variables. X is 15 and y is 30. Okay. Now we are checking x is greater than y. So what it will do, it will pick up the values. So 15 is greater than 30. No. Okay. So it will not execute this 19th line. It will not execute 19th line. It will jump to 21st line and it will do whatever is written in between these two curly brackets. Okay. There may be multiple statements here. There may be some other statements also. So for example, I can change the value of y, right? I can say y is now 90. Okay. And if I'll print it again, the y value, then it will print y. So let's understand how execution will happen for this program. In 15th line, we have declared x is 15, y is 30, fine. X, which is 15, is greater than y, which is 30. No, 15 is not greater than 30. So it will go to the else part and it will print y is greater. Okay. And after that, I'm changing the value of y also. Earlier it was 30, now I'm making it 90 and it will print the value of y. Okay, it's like this, the current value of y. So see what it is doing, it's saying y is greater and 90 it is printing. Okay, it's like this. If I make it, let's say 45 and y is still 30, so what is going to happen this time? It will come here, it will say x is greater than y. So there is a condition. So whatever you write inside if, there should be a condition. It should tell us whether the things are true or false. So this time x is 45, y is 30. So 45 is greater than 30. True. So it will print x is greater. Simple one. Okay. It will not say y is greater and it is not going to execute the whole part itself. Okay. So if I'll execute this now, it is saying x is greater. Okay. And it is not executing all these things. It has skipped this part. Here there is no output after that in the console output window. Fine. So this is how if else works. Simple structure. Okay. So whenever you write if, there should be a condition. And inside the if, there may be expression also. So I said this example, right? Where that voting example was there, right? In another program. Where was that? This one. Where I said that, you know, this this and this, right? Then only execute it, right? It's like this. So you can put this in if. The whole statement you can put inside if. Okay, it's fine to combine two conditions also. So let's take a real example. Okay, I'm giving you some time. You can write it in your notepad or you can write it in Eclipse also. So the question is, find out the maximum, find out the greatest between three numbers A, B, and C. Print, the question is print the greatest among three numbers. Okay, and the three number is A and B and C. So final answer should be A is greatest or B is greatest or C is greatest. Do it. I'm giving you, let's say, 5 minutes to do it. Then we will do it at our end. But I want one of you or all of you to try all these things and give me the program for this. So I want the if else structure, how you will decide from three numbers which one is greatest. If there is any three values, how you decide which one is the greatest number? And so mathematically, you decide it based on if A is greater than B, right? And A is also greater than C, right? Then you will be saying A is greatest, right? A, what is the condition where A is greatest? This is the condition, right? That A should be greater than B and A should be greater than C also. Then A is greatest. Very simple. If B is greater than A and B is also greater than C, then B is greatest. How simple it is. Right? So for example, not just like greatest or something. Let's say you are checking the height in a class. Let's say there are 50 students in the class and we want to find out who is tallest, right? So you will be measuring it, each and every student, right? So somewhere you're comparing. So once you have all the measurement, what we are doing, we are comparing that a particular is greater than to all other, then that will be the greatest or the tallest, whatever you want to take. Right? In the same way, if C is greater than A and C is greater than B also, then we will say C is greatest. How simple it is. So the same thing you have to put in programming. The way how we think, so this is like logically you have to think, right? You cannot say whenever I will have the value, I'll compare it and by seeing it, I can say which one is greatest. So basically, if I make it 10, B as 20 and C is 30, by seeing it, you are, you know, right away you can say which one is the greatest, right? You will say C is greatest because you know it, right? But computer understands logical thing. Computer cannot see these values, right? And straight away say C is the greatest. You have to provide him or her, like a computer, that this is by logic. Based on that, print me which is the greatest. It's like this. Okay. It's the so computer works like this. You have to put a logic and a very valid logic. It's a very valid logic. To decide any number is greatest, you have to compare with two other numbers also. Correct? You cannot say just by comparing A to B, I cannot say A is greatest because there is another number C. You have to compare A with C also. to check whether A is greatest or not. The same example, if I want to find out when B will become greatest, only when B is greater than A also and B is greater than C also. Okay. So if I'll copy this and let's put it in program. So I'll make another program for if else demo 2, new class. If else demo 2. This one. So let's declare first. So int A is 20, B is, sorry, A is 10, B is 20, C is 30. Let's assume it as of now. I have to put it like this. If A is greater than B, and because both the conditions should be true, and A is greater than C also, then say system.out.println this one. Control X to cut. Control C is for copy. Control V is for paste. Okay. Same way here again, another if. Okay, one more rule. If mandatorily have else part, right? It's not true. If may or may not have else part. Okay. So it's fine if one if condition do not have else part. So for example, if it's raining, I will not go to school. Else what I want to do? It's fine. I don't want to reveal else what I want to do. Okay. Let's simplify it again. So if I will reach to station at time, I'll go to Delhi. If I'll reach to station at time, I'll go to Delhi. Else, you can skip it. You don't want to make your understand that else what you want to do. Okay. So it's fine if you will not mention what you want to do else. Okay. Otherwise, what you want to do, you don't want to reveal. That's fine. It's not like that. If there is a if, you have to mention else also. So let's understand this. It's important. If it's raining, I will not go to school. Else, you don't have to mention it. If you want to mention, that's fine. But if you don't want to mention it, it's perfectly fine. Okay. So you can skip this part also. If you don't want to mention, perfectly fine. Okay. So if in this program, it's very simple. It will check this condition and this condition also. If both are true, then only we will say A is greatest. Same way for B and C also. So if I'll execute this, obviously it is saying C is greatest. Why it is saying C is greatest? Let's understand. Execution will happen line by line. So it will reach to the 7th line and it will have 3 values, A, B, and C. Then it will reach to 8th line. It will execute this and it will check A is greater than B. A is greater than B, false. A is greater than C, that is also false. False and false, final answer is false. So if the condition here is false, it is not going to execute 9th line. To get the 9th line executed, this both things should be true. Okay. Then only it will execute 9th line. Same is with case with 11th line. See here, B, which is 20, greater than 10. That's true. That's perfectly true. But B is not greater than C. B is 20, C is 30. So B is actually lesser than C, right? So this is false. So this is true, but this is false. This condition is true, but this condition is false. So final answer will be false. Whenever there is an AND operator, right, both the conditions should be true, then only this will be going to execute it. Okay, so the final answer will be true in that case, like this. That's why it's printing me C is greatest. If you will change the values, so for example, let's make A as 55. In this case, A is greater than B and A is also greater than C. So this time it will print A is greatest. So we are making computer to compare it and tell me which is greatest, and it is doing it within milliseconds. You may take 1 or 2 seconds to tell me which one is the greatest. Or let's assume there are 100 numbers. If there are 100 different numbers, you will take around 1 to 2 minutes to find out which one is the greatest, right? I can get different values, right? 20.25, 30.65, 30.99, 30.86, right? It will take a lot of time for you to compare manually if you are doing it, right? But computer will do, if you will put proper instructions, it will do it within milliseconds or microseconds. Okay. That's it for today.